Special program, a tour across the village. We are at the Liupanshui city of Guizhou province. And in the past, due to the poor transportation, this is a poverty-stricken village. And in the past years, and this village has access to railways and highways. And the infrastructure has been greatly improved. The agroeconomy also developed with the enhancement of transportation condition. And in this beautiful village, most of the land is covered by forestry, and they also began to develop tourism, and it has become a very popular tourist spot. Through our lens, we move now to Luoquanyan village of Sichuan province. From the bottom to the top of the mountain, this is a sightseeing road that is newly built. And this road is 10 kilometers long, and because the road signs are in 3 colors, so it is also known as the rainbow on the cloud. In the past, this is a very poor village, but back in 2017, the local government began the construction of this road, which also boosts the local economy and tourism. Right now, the villagers can stay at home and develop their own business, and it has become a road that lead to prosperity and well-being. And this is a village in Jiangsu province, and what you're seeing is fish ponds. And this is a village that is surrounded by water. By 2018, the local government began the renovation of the living quarters, and the housing, the environment, and green belt have been greatly enhanced. And they also use its multiple water resources to develop a fishery. And this village has found new vitality. Right now, we're moving to Liangzhi village of Shandong province. As you can see, these are very well-constructed roads and housing, and they also develop local business. And currently, the villagers they are living in these beautiful houses, and they can find jobs in local factories and companies. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our special program of Tour Across Village, and this is our 10th edition. And we will take you to more villages, beautiful villages in China. In the celebration of the founding of the CPC, General Secretary Xi pointed out that we need to continue to implement the Rural Vitalization Strategy. And currently, the infrastructure of the villages are greatly improved, and 83% of the villages have access to tap water, and 98% of the villages have access to internet. However, inside some of the villages, there are still some weak links. And in the 14th five-year period, we need to further improve the infrastructure and facility in the villages, in rural areas. And it is only when the infrastructure in the rural areas are fully enhanced or can we truly improve the well-being of the rural residents. And we will be taking you to more villages and to see their infrastructure, including the roads, electricity. And we'll take you to Fangyou village of Chongqing, Yuanjiacun village of Xianyang, Daobancun village of Liuan, Qiaobei village of Shangrao, Lianzhangcun village of Qingyuan, and Jiaocuancun village of Lishui in Zhejiang. And we will start with the southwest part, that is Fangyoucun village in Chongqing. The ecological condition of this village has been greatly improved over the past years, and tourism also developed because of it. And we'll talk to our reporter Chen Yang. Can you take us in a tour in the village?
我现在不是在公园，而是在我们重庆市南岸区放牛村一位村民的家中。这里既是家，也是当地开的第一家民宿。那每到周末呢，从
I'm right now at the home of one of the local residents, and they have opened up a family hotel. And this is a hotel that is renovated from one of the local houses, and this is the first floor, the living room, and it's very well decorated. You can see the beautiful mountain view in this living room. And this is the bedroom. It has 2 beds and also a big window, a window with a nice view. And let's take a look at this the sewage system. And it's also renovated from the traditional open toilet in the rural areas. And currently they are having a activity. This is a special activity that takes place almost every week. This is a flower arrangement industry, which is one of the pillar business here in this village. And this place used to be a garbage dump. It's used, and it's a serious threat to the local environment. But in the past years, the local government has renovated this dump, this landfill, into a nice ecological park with beautiful flowers and greeneries. And in each spring, this will be a very popular tourist spot. There are also different kind of bonsais, as you can see in the yard. This is also one of the local industries, and this is the most popular bonsais because it won the golden prize of 2021. It cost more than 1 million yuan. And bonsais like this can generate as much as 20 million yuan each year. This is the host of the hotel, owner of the hotel. And can you tell us more about what you're doing? Well, these are mushrooms, very freshly picked up this morning. And this is also one of our specialties. And for city residents who are used to largely to mass production, these are very fresh cuisine materials. Well, our hotel room, each year, our hotel room is our hotel is very near, adjacent to the city, so it's very popular, and many of our guests will come back for holidays and weekends. So I think this hotel is also very profitable. At the same time, this village has access to all the facilities such as electricity, tap water, and a well-developed sewage system. Currently, we can see that this is a performer that is playing this Chinese instrument called guzheng, and she is also actually a freshman in one of the top universities. And we hope that with more people and better education, this village can develop faster and better in the future. Well, what a beautiful village and what a nice hotel. I would like to enjoy a few days in this village, and also very nice music. In this village, there are also more interest spots for us to discover. Let's take a look. Hello, I'm Chen Peng, and I'm Chen Yang from CMG. Let's take a look at some of the goodies on the mountains. So, what are you doing? Well, this used to, I'm watering the flowers. This used to be a landfill, and now it has been turned into a beautiful garden. Each year, when the flowers blossom, you can see that many tourists will come here to enjoy the beautiful view. Currently, without the flowers, this place is still very popular with the children. This is a water park, and each year 300,000 person time would visit this place. Well, the weather is too hot, but the water park can give us a sense of coolness. These are very exciting activities. Let's take a break. This is a library in a mountain, and you can sit down, read some books, enjoy some music. Each weekend, many of the city dwellers will choose to come here and enjoy a very casual and relaxing afternoon. You can take a sip of coffee, enjoy some music. Are you hungry? Yes, of course. Let's order. These are different types of food materials. With more tourists that come here, and there are many restaurants that emerged, and this is truly a kingdom of hot pots. This also is one of the important sources of income. How's business? Well, business is so good at this time of year, and each year it can generate more than 100 billion yuan of profit for the local residents. At night, you can also climb up to the mountains and enjoy the night views of the city. Welcome to Nanshan of Chongqing City. And next up will be the Dawan village and in Anhui, and a small village in Shanxi, Xianyang, and this village is called Xianyang. It's called the Lujia village. So first up would be in Xianyang, village in Xianyang city. So how did a ordinary village turn into a popular tourist spot? The Dawan village in Anhui Lu'an city used to be a poverty-stricken area with poor local economy and ecological conditions. However, in the past few years, it has witnessed changes, massive changes, and has developed by leaps and bounds. And now let's talk to the local reporters. First, we'll talk to Wu Chengxuan in Xianyang city, and he is at the Yuanjia village. Good morning, everyone. Yuanjia is a very popular and well-known village in Shanxi, and last year alone it received more than 6 million tourists. It is the result of more than 10 years of development. And currently, due to the requirement of disease prevention and control, it has also implemented a lot of policies. So what is the biggest attraction here, and why it has become such a popular tourist spot here in this village? You can see that there are a lot of Asian buildings and furnitures in this village, which is the main tourist attractions, which is quite rare in Shanxi province. There are also some very ancient utensils, some laboring tools that is used by the farmers and rural residents. And these are living and existing traces of history and memories of the old times. And currently we are at the road, which is a very popular local tourist attractions, and Shanxi is known for its special noodles. This is called the biang noodle. So this kind of noodle must go with this spice. This is ground spice and tastes very good. And We need to pour it with hot oil, with boiled oil. Right? Very appealing. So we welcome tourists that comes from all across the country. So the chili industry alone is a business that can produce more than 10 million yuan of profit. And in the past year, it has become a pillar business here in this village. Back in 2007, this village began the renovation of all the lavatories. And in 2017, this village has access to natural gas. And last year, they have constructed this 5G network. Currently, this village is building this high-end village hotel, family hotels. So that's the situation of this village. So what are the other attractions in this village? Let's find out. Hello everyone, I'm Wen Qiran, a local resident. This Yuanjia village is an ancient village, and it has also become a popular tourist spot. I will take you into it in a tour across this village. You can see this beautiful ancient architecture and the main road and the business road of this village. Are you live streaming? Well, yes. Say hello to my fans. We are making this kind of rice noodles, and I'm telling my fans the production of this cuisine. In the afternoon, you can enjoy a cup of tea in this village, and there are also a lot of activities that is popular among young people. In this village, there are also some artistic performance. Currently, we are at one of the local family hotels. This is a very well decorated hotels. A lot of the local people that used to work outside this village would come back and develop their own business here. I came back in 2012 and began to open my family hotel, but after a few years I felt that I have to improve and upgrade my business. That's why I decided to construct this well-decorated family hotel. As the night goes, as night comes, you can also enjoy a sip of beer in one of the local bars and listen to some live music. After this short video, do you feel impulse to come here? Currently, there are different types of business streets, the streets of local cuisines, and performances, and bars. And there are also some other tourist attractions and activities, recreational activities. Well, that's all for my part. Let's move to Dawancun village of Lu'an City. Thank you. And currently, I'm at the Dawancun village of Lu'an in Anhui Province. This used to be a poverty-stricken village in the mountainous area, but currently, through developing rural tourism, it has. And as you can see, this is a newly developed tourist performance that is put on by the local residents. This is a special fashion show that demonstrates a different kind of agricultural tools by the farmers. In the past, if someone wants to make more money, the local residents has to become migrant workers and move to the city to find employment. But currently, the local resources are better mobilized. In the past, tourism is not an option for the local residents due to the poor transportational condition. As you can see, this is a photo of 2006. Most of the houses are shabby and poorly constructed, and none of the houses are implemented with air conditioning. So this kind of poor infrastructure has a very negative impact on the future, on the development prospect. And after that, I visited this village several times, and each time I would marvel at the immense changes that takes place in this village. Most of the changes is brought about by the construction of this road, which connects this Dawancun village with many of the local tourist spots, such as some national reservoir. So that more tourists would come here during their travels. Right now, all of the villagers have moved out of the old houses and into these newly constructed buildings. And the old houses are undergoing major renovation, and they have been turned into local hotels and museums and some shops. Also, the grid has been enhanced. All of the cables are buried on the ground instead of flying in the air. This costs more, but it will greatly improve the appearance of the village, the environment of the village. Right now, this village also has access to 5G network, and the villagers can enjoy this 5G medical network. The villagers tells me that they are planning to use the local photovoltaic resources and wind energy to build it into a carbon zero village with zero carbon emission. Last year alone, more than 300,000 visitors came to this village for sightseeing. Also, a lot of new occupation have emerged due to these changes. I used to be in a poverty-stricken household, but now I have my new job as a forest guardian, and I keep reminding people of to keep aware of the safety, especially of the fire. I'm in charge of the maintenance of the PV panels and to check if all of the facilities are working as usual. And we have a very abundant sunlight resources, and they have been turned into electricity used by the local households. Well, I am a janitor in this village. As you can see, the roads are well built and are very well cleaned. More and more tourists will come here, and I feel that my job is very important. Welcome to my hometown. I used to work as a migrant worker. After the tourism began to develop, I came back to work as a lifeguard here in this drifting project. Hopefully, through my job, the tourists can enjoy their visit in this village. Hello, everyone. I used to be working as a carpenter, and currently I work as a tour guide. Because this village used to be a revolutionary spot for the CPC, and as a tour guide, I feel responsible to tell people about the revolutionary history and the new stories of our village in the new era. Let's take a look at this the certificate. This village is granted by the State Council, and only 10 villages across the country have been awarded with this certificate as one of the outstanding examples for poverty alleviation. That is also a very big medal, as valuable as the gold medals in the Olympics. It is also the highest honor for the local residents. Here we have a lot of local cuisines that's produced in some of the villages that we have visited. As you can see, these are some of the rice noodles, and this is the spicy sauce that is made in Shanxi. It smells so good. I think it goes with everything. Let's take a look at the fried dough twist. I'm a fan of this kind of cuisines. Actually, this dough twist is different from place to place, as this one is very crunchy and it is fried in vegetable oil. I think this is a very nice local production that you can take home if you ever visit there. So we have been taking in a lot of staples, and let me have a sip of the yogurt. This is a cuisine that is produced by in Yuanjiacun village in Shanxi. I believe that if you ever visit there, and make sure that you have a taste of all the local snacks. I don't know if you can see, this is the pork, which is a production of the Dawencun village. Why don't you have a taste of it? This is a special kind of pork, which is different from your usual kind of pork. The quality of the pork is much better. This special pork comes from a pig with black fur coating, which is different than from your normal kind of pigs. And the price of this kind of pork is much higher than ordinary pork. Well, it looks good as well. This is a special peanut. As you can see, the size of it is much smaller than the normal peanuts. It has been fried. Well, although it's small, but it's very crunchy and a bit of sweetness to it. Well, let's continue with our tour. We will talk to Wu Jun first. So, in 2016, the village began its renovation. So it takes Yuanjiacun more than 10 years to realize the transformation. So, Mr. Wu, can you tell us more about the changes of Dawencun village in the past few years? Well, Dawencun village may start late, but the strides are quite big. As I mentioned, last year alone, it receives more than 300,000 tourists. Local people are also trying to find out ways to generate more profit and attract more tourists. For example, last year, this kind of drifting product began to operate. They have used this mountainous resources and this drifting tour will last about an hour. Many people would come here to enjoy this experience, and 40% of the income of this project will go to the local finance. If you come here, many of the tourist attractions are free of charge, and they mainly rely on local hotels, family hotels, and restaurants. In the past, tourists would feel reluctant to stay here for a few nights, and that's why the local government began its renovation of the construction and buildings. Most of the villagers have moved out of the old houses and established their family hotels. But at first, they are not very well decorated and renovated. But currently, most of the family hotels are second generation, which is renovated from the old houses. And currently, there are many hotels of the third generation, which is well designed, is better designed as the one you are seeing right now. This is built on cliffs. And all the hotel owners are improving their service quality. Let's take a look at one of the local hotels. Hello everyone, I'm Zhou Xiufeng, a local farmer. I was born and grew up here. And this is an ancient hotel that's renovated from an old house. This house has a history of more than 360 years. Today is a busy day for us, and the tourists have stayed here for 4 days. But I think being busy is a very positive thing for us. It means more income, more tourists. If there are no tourists, I would go to work in other hotels. Currently, if I want to, I can find all kinds of jobs and employment opportunities in my own village. In the past, I do not have a very stable source of income other than raising pigs, raising chickens. But sometimes I would have difficulty selling these chickens and pigs. But currently, with the development of the local tourism, I can have more sources of income. Except for working in the local hotels, I also have my fields. This is a cornfield, and this is a field of sweet potatoes. Well, I do not make as much money from these plantations as the money that I made by working in the local hotels. However, I believe this is a local tradition. As you can see, my hometown is becoming more and more beautiful. Look at this very nice lotus. And now I have access to 5G signals. Welcome to my hometown. I'm waiting for you and expecting you here. As Ms. Zhou mentioned, currently they have difficulty selling the local products. However, currently you can see many of the products and byproducts of the village are presented here. So what is the most popular tourist, what is the biggest, most popular production? This is a special kind of tofu made by a local vegetable, and this is the pork. If the tourists come here, they can have a taste first and decide what to buy. So, do you want to come here and take a look at this place? Well, very appealing, of course, with nice view and tasty food. It's a shame that I do not have a vacation at this moment. I would very much like to have a taste of the pork and experience the drifting project in Dawancun village. And Yuanjiacun village has become a tourist spot in the past more than a decade. So you must be more experienced in this area. So can you tell us more? In Yuanjiacun village, we can find this board, this billboard. As you can see, this is the members of the yogurt cooperatives. This is a name list of the local members of the corporates. As you can see, these are the shareholder of the cooperatives. And here you can see their investment and the name and the residence of the shareholders. And the poor farmers would have priority when they are when they try to invest in these cooperatives. So this is a major poverty alleviation effort. After this poverty alleviation projects kicked start, the Yuanjiacun village not only worked to improve its own living condition, but also some of the neighboring villages. They would open up job vacancies to the neighboring residents. For the special poverty-stricken households, they would provide free this kind of stalls free of charge. They would like to provide as much job opportunities as possible to its own villagers and the residents nearby. Right now, the tourism and manufacturers and factories of this village and the neighboring villages are mushrooming. There are also a lot of agricultural production base. So that's the third industry that boosts the second industry, and then in turn the first industry. Let's take a look at some of the comments of the local villages. I'm very surprised by the development of the city. I think this is a very nice spot to experience the local folklores and customs. Well, I'm making more money through tourism. How much money would you make each year? I think about several 100,000 yuan. I have my own houses and my own car. Well, we are holding a meeting to discuss ideas for development and design of the local hotels and tourism. The young generation has a lot of new ideas to develop local tourism, and we are trying to improve the quality of the family hotels. These products will go to 16 of our shops in the city. And our raw materials come from the 3 villages in a neighboring place. And this is one of the cooperatives that would generate a lot of profit for the local people. I'm selling the local cuisine, and I'm leading this cooperative and also the members of the cooperatives to generate more profit and income. What impresses me most is the transformation that the village went through in the past more decades. Tourism has massively changed the economy, the environment, and the living condition and well-being of the local people. And these industry of this place also have been upgraded by a large margin. And if you have time, we welcome you to visit this village. Well, this is now a very prosperous village. And Wu, would you like to comment more about the situation in Davansun village? Well, I stay here for a week, and I feel the hospitality of the local residents and the vitality of the local businesses. I believe that the better days are still ahead of us. Well, our best wishes goes to the villages and the residents. In Dawansun and the Yuanjiacun village, we can see that they used to rely only on agriculture, but now the second and third industry has also been developed. And this will not happen without the infrastructure construction, and the rural residents actually benefit the most from this kind of improvement, let's take a look at some of the comments by the rural residents themselves.